The excitement builds as we prepare to board the Mount Washington Cog Railway. With the locomotive ready and passengers taking their seats, the adventure is about to begin. Come along with us as we climb the steepest cog railway in the world to the summit of New England's highest peak, where breathtaking views and unforgettable memories await. Before continuing on our adventure, you may wonder how the cog came to be. At least I did. Here's how it all began. After climbing Mount Washington in 1857, Sylvester Marsh had an idea, imagining something most people thought was impossible. His idea was to build a railway to the summit, where jagged granite peaks cut into the sky and icy winds whip across the barren slopes. He used a tooth center rail and a powerful cogwheel. When the Mount Washington Cog Railway opened in 1869, it became the world's first mountain climbing cog railway. This engineering marvel still carries passengers above the clouds today. After Marsh's success and inspiration, similar railways were built in the Alps, as you can see from our visit to Switzerland. Before boarding the train, we made a quick stop at the Mount Washington Cog Railway Museum for a fun photo opportunity. Here you can pretend to be one of the original daredevils who once raced a single wooden shingle down the steep cog track. Thankfully today, it's all about capturing a memorable photo rather than taking the dangerous ride. Back in the day, some railway employees rode this simple wooden board down the center cog rail from the summit to the base for fun, or to see how fast they could go, covering the 3-mile descent in as little as 2 minutes and 45 seconds. It was an incredibly fast trip and extremely risky way to get down the mountain. Sure glad that this is not an option for us to get off the mountain. It's about time to board the cog for an unforgettable ride to the top. Come along with us. Here we see the beautiful fall colors found along the lower slopes of Mount Washington. Golden birch trees, deep evergreens, colorful ferns, and bright red mountain ash berries create a stunning display that makes autumn one of the best times to ride the cog railway. It's a reminder that the journey to the summit is just as spectacular as the destination. As the train climbs above the tree line, it emerges into the alpine zone and rises through a sea of clouds. Looking out from the train, it feels as though you're floating above the world, with rugged mountains peeking through the clouds below. The halfway elevation station marks the point where the Mount Washington Cog Railway enters its most challenging climb. As the train ascends beyond this point, the forest begins to thin, the views grow more spectacular, and the mountain's rugged alpine landscape comes into full view. It's a remarkable milestone on one of the most remarkable railway journeys in the world. This is the Cog Railway's passing track, where trains traveling up and down the mountain safely pass each other. We were fortunate to capture one of the most memorable moments on the Mount Washington Cog Railway, the passing of two trains high on the mountain. From the open platform of one train, you can see another historic steam-powered train making its way up the steep cog track, with passengers enjoying spectacular views in every direction. Beyond the railway, the White Mountains stretch to the horizon, their colorful forests creating a breathtaking backdrop. It's a unique scene that combines engineering, history, and natural beauty. The large wooden tank stores water that is fed into the locomotive's boiler before it continues its climb. Steam engines consume a tremendous amount of water during the steep ascent, so they must stop at this station to replenish their supply. From the tank, water flows through a hose into the locomotive's tender or boiler system, allowing the engine to generate the steam needed for the rest of the journey. As our train pauses on the mountainside, the historic steam locomotive releases a dramatic burst of steam, filling the crisp mountain air with the sights and sounds of a bygone era. It's a thrilling reminder that this isn't just a train ride. It's a journey through history on one of the world's most remarkable railways. This crew member is at the controls. He is focused on the challenging climb ahead. Here we're looking straight up the track and clearly see the center cog rail between the two running rails. This breathtaking view from near the summit of Mount Washington shows where two remarkable journeys come together. In the foreground, you can see both the Mount Washington Auto Road winding its way up the mountain and the historic Cog Railway climbing beside it. Beyond them, the colorful White Mountains stretch to the horizon, reminding visitors why reaching the summit is about more than the destination. It's about experiencing one of the most spectacular mountain landscapes in the Northeast. After an unforgettable ride on the historic Cog Railway, we returned to the base. On our second trip to the top, we drove the famous Mount Washington Auto Road. Opened in 1861, it's America's oldest man-made attraction. The 7.6-mile road climbs more than 4,600 feet through forests, alpine tundra, and above the tree line to the 6,288-foot summit. As we began our drive, we were treated to spectacular fall colors. Further up, the fall colors gave way to breathtaking views that unfolded in every direction. Drivers beware, there are steep grades and sharp turns. The weather can change rapidly too. Reaching the top isn't just a scenic drive. It's an adventure to one of the most remarkable places in the Northeast. As we near the summit of Mount Washington, the trees disappear, the wind grows stronger, and the landscape becomes a world of bare rock. Crossing the auto road is the historic Crawford Path, the oldest continuously maintained hiking trail in the United States. First blazed in 1819 by Abel and Ethan Crawford, it has guided generations of hikers to the summit for more than 2 centuries, making it one of the mountain's most enduring landmarks. After experiencing Mount Washington by both the historic Cog Railway and the scenic auto road, it was time to explore the summit itself. Here, breathtaking views, fascinating history, and some of the world's most extreme weather come together in one unforgettable place. Join us as we discover what makes the summit of Mount Washington so remarkable. Mount Washington is the highest peak in the Northeast. At 6,288 feet above sea level, you're standing in a place where breathtaking views stretch for miles. Clouds often drift below your feet, and some of the world's most extreme weather has made history. Reaching the summit is an unforgettable experience and the perfect reward for your journey. The Mount Washington Observatory immediately catches your eye. Standing beside the Sherman Adams Visitor Center at the summit. Since 1932, scientists have lived and worked here year-round, monitoring one of the world's most extreme weather environments and helping visitors understand why Mount Washington is known as the home of the world's worst weather. Before stepping back outside, be sure to check the live weather display inside the Sherman Adams Visitor Center. It shows the current wind speed, temperature, and other summit conditions. An eye-opening reminder of just how quickly the weather can change atop Mount Washington. Taking in the incredible views from the summit was high on our list. But Mount Washington had other plans. That day we experienced sustained winds of about 45 miles per hour, with even stronger gusts, making the short walk to the observation deck a challenge. At times it was difficult to stand, and every step required leaning into the wind just to keep moving. It was an unforgettable reminder of why this mountain is known as the home of the world's worst weather. The winds we experienced that day were impressive, but they were nowhere near the legendary 231-mile-an-hour gust recorded on this summit in 1934. Even so, they were powerful enough to make walking a challenge and gave us a small taste of the extreme conditions that have earned Mount Washington its reputation. This remarkable photo shows life at the Mount Washington Observatory during a winter storm. Thick layers of ice coat the tower as an observer battles fierce winds and blowing snow to maintain the weather instruments. Scenes like this reveal the incredible conditions that have made Mount Washington famous for its bad weather. Here, three major storm systems often collide, creating rapidly changing conditions. Sunshine can quickly turn to fog, rain, snow, or ice, while powerful winds sweep across the summit. It's a mountain where the weather is always in control. This chart explains why the weather is so dangerous and highlights how quickly it changes. Fog is one of Mount Washington's most common and dramatic weather features. Moist air rising up the mountain cools quickly, forming thick clouds that can engulf the summit in minutes. 1 minute you're enjoying sweeping views, and the next you're surrounded by dense fog with visibility reduced to just a few feet. It's another reminder of how quickly conditions can change on this remarkable mountain. Standing beside the famous Mount Washington summit sign is the moment every visitor looks forward to. At 6,288 feet, you've reached the highest peak in the Northeast. Built in 1853, the tip-top house welcomed weary travelers who reached Mount Washington's summit on foot or horseback, years before the Cog Railway made the climb easier. Constructed from rugged local stone to withstand the mountain's harsh conditions, it later received a steep wooden roof in the 1860s to better shed snow and survive the powerful winds. More than 170 years later, it remains one of the oldest surviving mountaintop buildings in the United States and a remarkable link to the mountain's early history. While nearly every other summit building has been rebuilt or replaced, this sturdy granite landmark has survived relentless winds, fierce winter storms, hurricanes, and even the devastating fire of 1908. Today, the restored building remains a powerful symbol of the mountain itself, a true survivor atop the home of the world's worst weather. Step inside the historic Tip Top House and explore exhibits that bring Mount Washington's early days to life. Thick granite walls, historic photographs, artifacts, and interpretive displays tell the story of the adventurous travelers who reached the summit long before modern transportation. Though modest in size, every room offers a glimpse into the determination and history that made this mountain a legendary destination. This antique wood-burning cook stove was the heart of the Tip Top House. It kept the tiny summit hotel warm and allowed meals to be prepared for weary travelers who had climbed Mount Washington long before the Cog Railway existed. Standing beside it, it's easy to imagine the warmth and comfort it offered after a long journey to one of the harshest environments in the Northeast. This simple pantry reminds us just how difficult it was to run a hotel atop Mount Washington. Every plate, cup, jar, and food supply had to be carried to the summit long before the Cog Railway existed. Despite the harsh conditions, the Tip Top House provided weary travelers with warm meals, hot drinks, and a welcome place to rest after their remarkable climb. This welcoming dining room was once the heart of Tip Top House. After the long climb to the summit, travelers gathered around these tables to enjoy a hot meal, warm themselves by the stove, and celebrate reaching the top of Mount Washington. It was a simple place, but for those early adventurers, it offered comfort, companionship, and a well-earned rest before beginning the journey back down. This beautifully crafted cast iron parlor stove was more than just a piece of furniture. It was a lifeline. On cold, windy days, it filled the Tip Top House with warmth, giving weary travelers a chance to thaw out, relax, and enjoy a few moments of comfort. This simple bunk room shows where early visitors spent the night. There were no luxuries, just sturdy bunk beds, curtains for a little privacy, and a warm place to sleep after an exhausting climb. Even these modest accommodations were a welcome reward for adventurers who had conquered one of the Northeast's most challenging mountains. Mount Washington is far more than a mountain. It's an experience that humbles, inspires, and reminds you of nature's incredible power. 7 years after our visit, the memories remain as vivid as ever, a testament to the lasting impression this remarkable place left on us. If you're looking for an adventure you'll still be talking about years from now, add Mount Washington to your bucket list. Come experience the breathtaking views, legendary weather, and unforgettable journey to the summit, and create memories that will stay with you for a lifetime. Our next adventure is just around the corner, and we'd love for you to come along. Together, we'll discover breathtaking places, uncover fascinating history, and create memories that last a lifetime. Like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you won't miss where our next adventure takes us.